got Taylor playing a very aggressive mono red deck, just looking to burn his opponent out. Price of Progress, Flame Rift, Lava Spike, 8 creatures in Grim Lavamancer and Goblin Guide, a couple of Sulfuric Vortexes. He's looking to reduce Adam's life total to 0 as quickly as possible.
Now, we're going to get them started as soon as possible. Now, one of the things that this matchup generally... Oh, a hug between friends. Nope, free hugs. Taylor Gunn letting us all know what's the what.
Adam Prosak starting off with an Island and a Preordain. Looks like 1 card on the bottom, and he will draw the other card, which appears to be a Ponder. On Taylor's side, there's a Scalding Tarn sacrificed.
This matchup...
Taylor to 19.
Sorry about that, Ben. This matchup is essentially a pair of decks playing Solitaire, and if you've listened to Patrick Sullivan talk about this matchup, he views it as the most miserable that he can possibly play. So, not one that Patrick Sullivan, the Burn Master of Legacy, is excited about. Taylor Gunn's sideboard, I'm already looking at it. Pyrostatic Pillar and Mindbreak Trap in the sideboard. He actually has a chance game 2 and 3.
Yeah, so both of those are going to be very important. Taylor, you see here, playing Alternate Arc Goblin Guide and crashing in for 2 damage, revealing Cabal Ritual off the top of Adam's deck. We're going to see a Gitaxian Probe paid for with, looks like mana, and a hand of 2 Mountains, Price of Progress, Sulfuric Vortex, another Goblin Guide, and a Grim Lavamancer. I would not be surprised if we saw that second Goblin Guide come down to increase the clock here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Gitaxian Probe, an awesome card in most situations for the Ad Nauseam Tendrils deck, because what it can do is use it to help go off, check to see if the coast is clear, and essentially just have that little bit of safety so that if it needs to wait a turn, it can go ahead and do it. But one of the real dangers in this matchup is he can actually give Taylor, should he pay the life, just enough damage for Taylor to get a crazy turn 3 style kill, which is usually a little bit more of a struggle for that deck to be able to pull off.
Yeah, and you see Adam wisely here choosing to spend the mana for that card.
Absolutely, a rare choice for a deck that likes to have free spells like that.
Yep, and we see Adam look at a couple lands and a Duress with that Ponder, deciding that he's not interested in any of those and going to shuffle. I should have said that Taylor will probably be adding that Goblin Guide to the board if he gets another turn.
Yeah, I mean, this is a deck that is absolutely capable of winning on this turn, even right now, tapped out with mana.
Yeah, we see 2 spells already cast for Adam, so if it does come up, the Storm counts at 2. Looks like Adam's just going to pass, though.
Now, just because you can go off on turn 2, or even turn 1, does not mean you want to. If you hold off for an extra card, it can make it all the easier to make it happen.
Yep, definitely, and we see that those 2 Goblin Guides come in, another Cabal Ritual revealed. So Adam getting up to a very... what's probably a pretty respectable number of rituals in hand between that one and the one revealed last turn from Goblin Guide.
Now, Taylor Gunn here, you can see him pondering whether or not to lay a Grim Lavamancer or not. It is a slow clock in a matchup where he needs to think about maximizing the speed of his kill, and it looks like he is going with a Rift Bolt because he does not think he's going to have the opportunity to make use of Grim Lavamancer fast enough.
Yeah, so essentially deciding here that, you know, he has 1, maybe 2 more turns, going to try to get in as much damage as possible. Adam firing off a couple of Preordains, sifting through cards, trying to build a hand that he can safely go off with.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan. Here in the booth with Ben Hayes, we can see Taylor Gunn on the left with Mono Red, Adam Prosak on the right with Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and Adam, I think, about to go for it right now.
Yep, that die comes out representing how many spells have been cast this turn. The other one, how much mana Adam has. He goes up to 5 mana off of that Cabal Ritual, and now we see 8 mana and 5 spells. 6 spells for a Lion's Eye Diamond. Adam actually has a land that I think he played that Underground Sea.
Yes, he did.
So
Adam, a total pro at this deck. He has played this deck so many times, he can practically do it in his sleep. And I don't know about you, but if you're like me and you've played a deck, like a combo deck, a million times, it's actually possible he's dreamt about this. So...
Ooh. We see Past in Flames getting searched up by Infernal Tutor. Interesting little interaction there. Infernal Tutor lets you search for any card if you have no hand, and Adam used his Lion's Eye Diamond there to have no hand. And
yep.
Search for the Past in Flames. We're going to see all of these spells we just saw recast.
Hellbent in action.
And another Infernal Tutor, still with no hand, searching up any card Adam wants. I believe we're going to see a Tendrils here for enough.
There we go. Now, if you are watching this combo deck at home, do not be discouraged. I'm not sure what Glenn Jones was thinking about when he started us off with this matchup here. I'm looking at him with my eyes narrowed, but one of the things about it, Magic is, generally speaking, a little bit more interactive than this Game 1 that we saw in Legacy. Legacy, one of the big hallmarks of Legacy is that it's an incredibly interactive format, and I know that it's probably part of the reason why it's so popular with a lot of players. Pretty much one of the only things holding back Legacy as a format is card availability.
Yeah, definitely very true. I mean, it may be the case, that Taylor wants to play mono red. That's his style. That's what he wants to go with. But, in some cases, players make their deck decision based on what they have access to. And mono red is one of the more affordable decks in the format.
Absolutely. One of the cool things I like about Taylor's build of this list is that the 3 pyrostatic pillars and the 2 mindbreak traps, particularly if he mulligans aggressively, he can actually very reasonably get to these cards and be casting, get to these cards in hand so that the mindbreak trap can be free, or he can drop a pyrostatic pillar, requiring Adam Prosak get rid of it before he can even win.
Yep, Pyrostatic Pillar, a 2-mana enchantment, a red enchantment, that anytime a player casts a spell that, is it 2 or less or 3 or less?
It is 3 or less.
And it's 2 or 3 damage.
It's red 1, deal 2 damage for every spell that is cast that is 3 or less.
Right, so if he has that enchantment in play, you saw Adam cast those Preordains, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, Cabal Ritual, even the Infernal Tutor. All of those cards are going to trigger Pyrostatic Pillar. All of them are going to make Adam take a bunch of damage. He probably won't be able to go off under a Pyrostatic Pillar.
For those of you who play fun formats, I used to play a 5-color deck that was, as in a 5-color Contract from Below style deck, that was practically mono-red. You're required to play all 5 colors, but I made it practically mono-red. And Pyrostatic Pillar, awesome in any format where people are casting 1s and 2s and 3s. And one of the things, a deck like mono red in Legacy, a format that's actually a true tournament format, it gives you a chance against the combo decks, but one of the problems with the card is that Pyrostatic Pillar does nothing in many matchups. So it's basically a decision. Do you think you're going to see some combo? Well, then maybe consider this card. And some combos don't actually, it doesn't do much against some combos.
Yeah, the, maybe more traditional combos where you're combining 2 spells or combining 2 cards or 3 cards might not do as much against those, but it's very effective against a deck like Storm.
For those of you who are just joining us, you can see on the right Adam Prosak, a regular figure here at the Star City Games Open Series. Taylor Gunn, no stranger to Star City Games himself. I'm Adrian Sullivan, and I'm here with Ben Hayes. This is the Star City Games Open Series. It is Legacy, Day 2, Round 3 of this 9-round event.
You can see both these players on camera chatting, having a good time, laughing. They're very good friends outside of Magic. Also, they do a podcast together called The Bridge. So, check that out if you're interested.
If you are a fan of good Magic talk, Adam Prosak knows Magic. So you should make sure that if you like that kind of thing, pay attention, listen to him, and as you said, The Bridge.
Yep. Looks like, I believe Adam has kept his hand, and Taylor about to draw his. And we'll see. Nope, not interested at all in that one. Just ships it right back. Probably, as Adrian was saying, looking for one of those anti-combo cards, one of those hate cards that he boarded in, either a Pyrostatic Pillar or a Mindbreak Trap. And I would bet not seeing one in either of the first two hands, given how quickly he mulliganed them.
Nothing wrong with hunting for your trump cards. I don't think that it is even possible for Taylor Gunn to win if Adam has anything reasonable, unless he has one of those two cards.
Yeah, and he sees that Adam's kept 7 cards, so really any 7 cards out of Storm are very dangerous for a fair deck like Mono Red.
We have the opening Rift Bolt from Taylor Gunn.
Can also see a Price of Progress in his hand, which Adam played around very well by using both fetch lands to get islands in the first game. And he chooses to get an island again, very aware of the possibility of Price of Progress, dealing a bunch of damage. 2 mana for each player takes 2 damage for each non-basic land they control.
Ponder, the 3 Moon Ponder, my particular favorite.
Yep, and he chooses to shuffle off that one.
Adam Prosak has been sticking to his guns here, playing basically only Ad Nauseam for a very long time now in Legacy. And I mean, I don't know if there's anyone in Legacy that I'm aware of, at least in the Star City game circuit, who has been playing it more.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he is the champion of that deck right now. We see a Lava Spike fired over, as well as that Rift Bolt that was suspended on turn 1. Dealing Adam some good damage, but not sustained damage. So we'll see if Taylor can find a source of that, or if he has a one of those hate cards to keep himself in this game. But Adam has a whole handful of cards, and that is not what Taylor wants to see.
Main phase Brainstorm here from Adam. Now, I've often said main phase Brainstorm is the best kind of brainstorm, and a lot of that has to do with a lesson that I learned from Ian DeGraff, a Midwest player who was a kind of legacy leader. He was a part of a legacy team back in the day, ICBM, which stood for I Can Beat Mean Deck. Mean Deck, of course, the kind of best-known legacy players from the legacy community standpoint. And Ian DeGraff has to be proud this weekend. One of his proteges, Owen Turtenwald, now in the top 4 of the Pro Tour, happening as we speak. Duress knocks out Price of Progress, and we see that Arabian Mountain, the sole card left in Taylor Gunn's hand.
And we're going to see Adam go with another Ponder.
Taylor smiling here. He knows how futile this is for him.
Yep, after having his Price of Progress duressed away, that, to be fair, wouldn't have dealt any damage to either player anyway.
Yes, this is true.
And shuffle off Ponder. We'll see what Adam can come up with, but I don't anticipate this game lasting too much longer. I see it looks to be a Dark Ritual in Adam's hand. Oh, that's a Lightning Bolt.
Adam's still sitting at a healthy amount of life.
And Taylor draws and passes. Adam draws an Underground Sea, casts a Preordain, sees an Ad Nauseam, which not so good in this situation because he is at 9 life. We'll see what he chooses to do with that.
I think that he is going to draw a lot of cards and win the game.
I think that's pretty likely. We see 3 rituals fired off, a Dark Ritual, and then 2 Cabal Rituals. Adam has decided that it's going to be 9 mana, and we will see that Ad Nauseam. A little bit risky, but...
no real surprise, though.
And revealed an LED, Taxian Probe, a Cabal Therapy, I believe that is, land duress. So Adam has taken lost 3 life at this point.
Sitting comfortably, basically.
4. And Adam pondering his options, maybe preordaining his options soon.
Pondering his options. It sounds like you've been taking pun lessons.
And considering how far he wants to go, maybe at 5, it is a little bit risky at this point. I believe the most expensive spell in Adam's deck does cost 4.
Okay.
With that ad nauseum out of it now. But he chooses to end on just those cards. You know, just draw, I think it was 6.
I can't even count how many. Okay, let's just check. What do you got? Fire Blast? Taylor's like, I'll Fire Blast you. So actually, Adam was really close to dead.
Yeah, Adam makes a very good decision here, stopping when he did. Now down to 1. We'll see if Adam can finish this game off. Preordain. Oh, and he finds Past in Flames. Okay, between those Lotus Petals in Adam's hand and the mana that he has remaining, we'll see if that's going to be enough.
I think Adam is in good shape.
You see LED come down, Lion's Eye Diamond, and 2 Lotus Petals. And Adam fiddling with something off camera. A bunch of spells left in hand. What looks like a Chain of Vapor, Past in Flames. I believe the storm count is 11, and Adam has 3 mana, so...
I'm not sure. I think he might have miscounted. I think it might be 37. Maybe 80.
Could be.
Oh, go ahead.
He has this Past in Flames, and just trying to figure out how much he can do with it.
I was enjoying watching Taylor Gunn's hands because I was in the exact same position. My hands folded on the table, just waiting to see what will happen. Who knows? It could be anything. It could be a Chrome Shell Crab will come out of Adam Prosak's deck. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Adam is gonna be able to take this game. We'll see. He has quite a few rituals left. I'm confident. Still some friendly banter going on.
For those of you who don't know what the Ad Nauseam Tendrils style decks do when they win, after making a ton of mana and casting a million trillion spells, they fire off typically the namesake Tendrils spell, but they sometimes do sideboard other storm spells for the kill. But typically it's just that Tendrils for the kill. Just to make it essentially all of the cards that you have in your deck will help you kill them, except for the one actual kill spell, so you don't actually draw it at the wrong time.
Right, exactly. Just a lot of redundancy, and then that one way to finish off the game. Looks like Adam is shuffling again. So the storm mechanic, I mean, I feel like most people watching are probably familiar, but spells that have the storm mechanic, you get the effect of the spell, and then you get the effect of the spell again for each spell that's been cast before it on that turn. So that's why you see 11 dice over there on the side. Adam was counting up each spell that he'd cast on the turn, just to make sure that when he does, if and when he does cast that Tendrils of Agony, that it is for enough.
He's Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Cabal Ritual. And Taylor, being very helpful here, takes away some of the storm count.
-3 spells, +9 mana.
Yeah, Taylor takes away some of that storm count. I think playfully, he and Adam are friends.
I think Adam's actually gonna Cabal Therapy himself to get that Brainstorm out of his hand, allowing the Infernal Tutor to search for any card being Hellbent, the original Rakdos mechanic.
And there it is, Tendrils of Agony. And the hand is extended. Taylor Gunn defeated in a quick 2-0 from Adam Prosak. And the free hug that he gave Adam earlier, maybe a preemptive congratulatory hug. Adam Prosak now 3-0 in this tournament. Taylor Gunn falls to 2-1.
Yep, a very uphill battle for the mono red deck.
This is one of the most lopsided matches in Legacy, so
yeah, not surprised with the outcome. Taylor did have some tools in his sideboard that he could possibly have used to combat Adam's strategy, but mulliganed a couple times and then was more or less forced to keep a hand that could do something, but just not quite enough.